Okay, now we clearly have to tell Ransom. Commander, our away team was just kidnapped.
Spoiler alert, a very distinct spot in the franchise is held by Star Trek Lower Decks, which appears to be laying the groundwork for its last season in a way that perfectly captures the chaotic atmosphere of the series. The cast of Star Trek Lower Decks Season 5 must deliver the cartoon characters to a satisfying end because the show will conclude on December 19th, 2024 with the finale. When it does, the Star Trek timeline might have a significant canonical event that other franchise initiatives will have to take into account. Mutliverse episodes aren't unheard of in Star Trek, as the franchise has employed the sci-fi cliche since Star Trek The Original Series Season 2, Episode 4, Mirror, Mirror, introduced the Mirror Universe. The series, however, takes great care to avoid using these kinds of plots excessively because they always run the risk of becoming out of control and extending into the Star Trek films as well as the other spin-offs. Fortunately, it looks like Star Trek Lower Decks is eschewing caution in order to close up the series on a high note.
And you'll do as I say! Yes, mistress! Are you proposing a mutiny? Yes?
Welcome to Movie Spy. Season 5 of Star Trek Lower Decks keeps hinting to a multiverse finale. A Farewell to Farms concludes with yet another enormous tease of the cosmos. The majority of Star Trek Lower Decks Season 5, Episode 4, A Farewell to Farms, is an apparently harmless tale of Luton Mariner, Tawny Newsome, visiting an old buddy on the Klingon homeworld, and Dr. Maglimo, Paul F. Tompkins, meeting his heroes. It is interesting to note that Mariner is examining a nearby artificially created spatial fissure as part of an integrated subplot. This would be compelling in isolation, at the very least. When combined with the other multiverse teases from Star Trek Lower Decks' 5th season, a compelling pattern begins to take shape. Why a multiverse story is the perfect way to end Star Trek Lower Decks. With the multiversal copies of the crew in the Season 5 opener, Dos Cerritos, and the tiny Intrepid-class Federation ship from another reality in the best exotic nanite hotel, it is difficult to ignore what the show's final season is building toward. If the trend continues, Star Trek Lower Decks will undoubtedly continue to use bigger and bigger multiverse storylines until they culminate in an enthralling finale. While Lower Decks frequently mocks Star Trek in general, its actions do contribute to the canon of the broader franchise. Star Trek Easter eggs and allusions to significant events in the tale are common in the animated series. The writers should therefore focus more on this aspect of the show's formula and make the final season even more self-referential than it has in the past. Star Trek Lower Decks would have the ideal, on-brand ending with a huge multiverse plot that would allow for a ton of gimmicks and not-so-subtle winks. Thanks for watching.